Hi everyone. Today I am going to discuss my March 2026 reading wrap up. If you watched my February, you know I'm still in the same car. I'm still in the same position. I didn't move, and I'm holding my phone because it keeps overheating when I hang it up in my windshield because the sun shines on it. It makes it hot apparently. So I'm going to try to go a little faster than last time. I have a few less books, I think, this time. But okay, March. Here we go. This was a very sci-fi heavy month. I've got a couple of 5 stars, some very thought-provoking reads, one that I almost DNF'd, and but ended up being glad I finished it. So let's jump in. All right, the first book was Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. Holy cow. This is basically a fairy tale for adults. It's a lot like The Princess Bride, but if Buttercup had gone on the adventure to find Wesley instead of just waiting for him to come back. It's whimsical, it's adventurous, it's funny, and surprisingly wise. It is a book that I immediately was like, I want to reread this one soon. And I never reread books, ever. However, that will be different in another book in here. But anyway, I don't. If I reread a book, it must be amazing. And so, yeah, Tress of the Emerald Sea. At one point, I thought this would probably be my favorite book of the year. And it still might be. I literally didn't even finish it before I ordered the physical book. And I don't read physical books. So there was so much little wisdom thrown in there that I kept trying to memorize while listening to the book. And I was like, forget it. I got to go through and find these little nuggets of wisdom Sanderson hid in here in this fairy tale book. And I don't have very many physical books because I just don't. And I used to, but I got rid of them all. So it's a big deal if I order a physical book, if I reread a book, if I read a physical book. Absolutely 5 stars. Absolutely recommend. It was an absolute joy to read this book. The next book I read was Ubik by Philip K. Dick. Now, I read this one because it's supposed to be one of those classic best sci-fi books. I had never heard of it until I was looking on some lists of the best classic sci-fi books or something like that. This one, it's hard to talk about without making spoilers. It is so deeply philosophical, and that is why I like it. I love philosophical books. I did not, when I finished reading this book, I was like, well, it was okay. It wasn't that great. But the more I've thought about it, the more I really liked it. Reality starts breaking down and you're left questioning everything, like identity, death, what's real, what's not real. It reminded me of The Matrix, Inception, and Minority Report kind of all blended together. It's the kind of book that I will keep thinking about for a long time. And I will probably rewrite this at some point. I gave it 4 stars, but it could very easily be 4.5, maybe 4 3/4. I don't know if I would say it would be 5-star perfect book. It is an older book. I can't remember when it was written, but it's older. And so there's parts of it that's I don't know, things are a little different now. So, yeah. I would highly recommend this book, but only if you enjoy the weird, thought-provoking sci-fi books. The next book I read is Twilight Falls by Juno Black. I am working my way through the Shady Hollow series books. These books are set in a storybook kind of forest creatures, forest animals are the main characters. I know that sounds crazy and weird, but it works. It works well. And the audiobook narrator does an amazing job at putting the personality of an animal within the voices of the characters without it sounding silly and childish. And these are not children's books. They are good, though. I think they're fantastic. My husband read the first one. He was like, okay, like I see why you like it, but it's not for me. Totally get that. It's not going to be for everybody. But if you like cozy murder mysteries, or just cozy mysteries, it doesn't even have to be murder. I think the first couple of them are murders, and I don't think all of the rest of them are murders. I don't know if I haven't finished the series, but not all of them are murder mysteries, but they're mysteries. This one, honestly, I had it figured out almost immediately, but I just enjoy being in Shady Hollow, and I love it. I like it. It's cozy, it's sweet. I want to live there and enjoy their little village. I gave it 4 stars. I do like cozy mysteries. I'm not it used to be probably my favorite genre, but it's less and less that way. And to me, it's very easy to screw up a cozy mystery, but I do like them. And I like this series. The next book I read, book 4, is The Rose Code by Kate Quinn. This has been on my list to read for a long time, and I finally was like, screw it, I'm doing this. It is a historical fiction set at Bletchley Park during World War III. Wrong year. World War II, following 3 very different women who were on the code-breaking team. I love this book. The espionage elements, the urgency, the complex friendships, it was very compelling. I loved this book. My only hesitation is the inclusion of real historical figures in a story. I don't like that because it feels like it could verge into like the slanderous kind of territory. Not that, and she had very good reasons for doing what she did, and I don't fault her for that. It's just personally not my favorite thing. I read another book one time. It was a very good book, but it had a major historical figure in it that played a major role in the story. And I'm like, okay, so what of this was true and what is not? Like, I know when I'm reading like a historical fiction with fictional people in it, that it's based on things that really happened, but these people didn't really happen, you know? And I'm okay with that because I'm still learning about that historical moment in time, but I'm not getting false information about an individual. And she did use that in this book, and that sometimes bothers me. Nothing against Kate Quinn or the book. It's fantastic. Highly recommend. But that's just personally one of those things that I don't want to get confused in my mind of real and not real. The next book I read was Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. This was a reread. I absolutely never reread books. I do not. Unless it's been like almost 30 years, because I've reread a few books that I read in high school. I don't reread books. But I reread Project Hail Mary this year, and holy cow, I forgot how good that book was. It's an all-time favorite. There is no notes to be made on that book. It's so good. And it's kind of interesting because I did pick on, since nothing was going to be spoiled for me. I'd already read the book. There were things that I picked up, and I was like, philosophical things. My brain's really been working in the philosophical realm this year. And the fact that, well, I don't want to give up any spoilers. I will make another video about Project Hail Mary and the philosophical thoughts I've had on it. But the book is incredible. It's incredible. It was our book club book for last month, and we all went to the movies and saw it, and our husbands came along because most of the husbands had read it too. The movie, while it is not perfect, it's not the book. While it is not the book, I'm not sure they could have done a better adaptation for that book. Okay. 5 stars, of course. The 6th book I read was The Island of Dr. Moreau by H.G. Wells. This is another classic sci-fi and very old book. My husband had read it a while back ago, and I was like, okay, I'm going to read it too. This book, I thought was fantastic for the first half. I was like, this is great. I like this. I am thinking, making me think. There's a lot of philosophical stuff going on here. And then the last third of the book felt so rushed and skipped over stuff that I think could have been very thought-provoking. And I ended up just giving it a 3.5. I would still recommend this book because it was so much better than so many books that I was forced to read in high school that were absolutely, in my opinion, are a waste of paper. This book had some stuff that you could discuss. And, you know, in another time in my life, I might reread this at another time to really dig the, and, you know, just think on it some more. My star rating on this one could potentially go up. I need to do some reading on the book, about the book. Book 7, The Collapsing Empire by John Scalzi. This is the first book in the Interdependency series. I had read his little not short story, what would you call it? Little essay, I guess, he posted for free on his website. I had read that and thought, wow, sorry. That is, I love this. I love this idea of the flow. And so I decided I wanted to read his series on it. Now, this is a space opera where humanity depends on the flow. There's different humans have colonized planets, light years away from each other, and they don't have light speed or whatever. They don't have the ability to go the speed of light. So there's no way they can go to these colonies without the flow. The flow is this phenomenon that helps them travel much faster than they normally could. And they've set it up so that each colony depends on its survival on the other colonies, so they can never go to war with each other. But the flow is breaking down. And if they don't figure out some way, very quickly, all these space colonies except End is the last colony at the end of the flow. You can go upstream, but you can't go any further downstream. End is the end. End is a colony that has been created on a planet with an atmosphere that humans can survive in. So End does have the potential to be on its own. The others are space stations or colonies within, like, biodomes that would not continue to survive if flow ends. So it's multiple points of view, complex characters facing identity changes that, you know, the development of a character across an arc is just, I dig that. So I think I'm going to really end up liking the rest of this series. The book kind of took a second for me to get into. I gave it 4 stars. Great characters, strong political tension, right up my alley. Okay, the last book I just finished last night is Operation Bounce House by Matt Denneman. He's the one who wrote the Dungeon Crawler Carl books. This is a separate book. So far as I know, it's a standalone book. It ends in a way that I could totally see him taking on the universe and expounding on things that were in the book. So it's possible second series for him, or I don't know if he's written other stuff, to be honest. But anyway, this is about a colonized planet that is being invaded by game-controlling mechs. Earth has colonized several planets, and it said that once they had created their planets, they would leave them alone. Well, decided they're going to change their mind, and now Earth has told everybody else on Earth that this planet is full of terrorists and they are going to invade. So they get these gamers to pay money to control these mechs and to evict all the people from this planet. So it's kind of a little what is that book? Something One, I think. Not Ready Player One. What's the other? Ender's Game is what I think it kind of reminds me of. I've never actually read Ender's Game. I don't even think I've seen the movie, but my husband likes the book and has told me about it, so that's what it kind of sounds like to me. Anyway, I almost DNF'd this book. If I hadn't read the Dungeon Crawler Carl books and known how good of an author Matt Dinniman is, I would not have finished this one. So, I'm glad I did, though. The ending really made it worth it. I gave it 3.5 stars, but it's also one that I might think about a little bit more. If you like sci-fi games, especially war-type games, I would highly recommend that one. So yeah, Project Hail Mary and Tress of the Emerald Sea. If you haven't read them, what's wrong with you? Go read them. And then go see Project Hail Mary, because that was really good. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna go watch my kids hunt eggs this evening. And then take a late night drive back to our house, because it's supposed to start storming in the morning and we've got things we got to do, so I can't wait out a storm in East Texas to get to almost Dallas area. All right, I will talk to you guys again later. I do plan on making a few more videos, deeper dives into some of these books, talking about the philosophical thoughts that I'm having on some of these. But I will, some of those are gonna have some spoilers, but I will let you know before I get to the spoilers. And then you can stop it or whatnot. Read it, listen, watch, whatever if you want. If it's not something you sounds like you want to read, but you still want to watch the video, great. I don't know why I'm talking so much now. Okay, I will talk to you later.